There are many things we do every week. We have a Sunday fellowship breakfast and then followed by Sunday school classes for every age range. Then we have our worship service at 11 o'clock with our choir singing and our children taking up a bucket offering that's taken up over $5,000 in change for missions. First Sundays we have communion, and then on Sunday nights we have a Bible study. We've been doing the Gospel according to Andy Griffith. Wednesday nights we have a fellowship meal followed by Bible studies for every age range. And then we have choir practice at 6:30. We have United Methodist Men meeting once a month on the first Monday, and United Methodist Women have 3 circles that are very active. We also do many different programs, and let's look at some of those through the year. In November, we had one of our Sunday school classes got together and cleaned out gutters. We had a harvest meal and a basket auction to help raise funds for our youth. In December, we had a lunch bunch trip to Houston to look at their arts and crafts show, and the mission team started raising money. We had pictures with Santa, and some of the kids liked it and some weren't too happy about Santa. One of our mission team fundraisers was lunches after church, and we had one a month. Our children had a float in the Christmas parade, and then we had our adult cantata and a fellowship time afterward. Our children sang the next week. Lyrics also sang for us one Sunday night, and we had a Christmas Eve communion service. January, we started off with a bang with many different luncheons, and then into February, we had a sewing time to sew dresses for the mission team to take to coat. We continued our after-church luncheons, and we also started Lenten luncheons on Wednesdays. In March, we continued our Lenten luncheons. We also sewed salads to help raise money for our mission team. Then in April, we moved into our Easter things. We had snacks with the Easter bunny. We had a really good Easter bunny. He seemed to have a little bit of an attitude. In April, we also started a confirmation class with 8 of our older youth, and we had a baptismal service in a rather cold swimming pool. On the Saturday before Easter, we had an Easter egg hunt with a cookout and a fishing time. Then on Thursday before Easter, we had a love feast in the fellowship hall, and on Good Friday, we had a service of darkness. Saturday before Easter, we decorated our Death to Life cross and had some very good supervisors who gave good instruction. Then it was time for Easter services, and everybody wanted pictures by the beautiful cross that had been created. Even the Baptists came across the street to get their picture made of their Sunday school classes. And then we were into May. First off, we kicked off with a pancake breakfast the men did for a fundraiser for the Arts and Crafts Festival. And then we had a cleanup time for our youth to go out and clean up yards and area parks. The men also had a fish fry for the ladies of our church to remember our Mother's Day. The mission team kicked off the month with a yard sale and made about $3,000. And then in June, it was time for Vacation Bible School.
He said move, so I picked up the bag and made it move.
Velocity versus
that will serve as our theme.
at 1728 A.
It says, in God we live, move,
on my way somewhere. To make a long story short, I was raised by Pharaoh's daughter. But
Hallelujah, God is on the move. These are cookie bags. Your hands
Wow.
your feet and jump. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may
After Vacation Bible School, we sent several of our kids off to camp at Camp Lake Stevens. Then we had the last of our luncheons raising money for the mission team. In July, it was time to head to our mission trip. We've been collecting many supplies over the months, and we had already packed 16 bags full of stuff to take to give away, and now it's time to pack our goodie bags and put the rest of the stuff together, so we'll be ready to go. In 2015, 13 intrepid explorers set out from Mississippi for Costa Rica. They went on a mission team from July the 18th through the 26th, and there they ministered to hundreds of people. Let's let them introduce themselves.
Lacey.
Stephanie.
Rebecca. Sarah.
Kimberly.
Anna Scott.
Brandon.
Darby. Mi nombre es Connie. Jaden. Daphne. Carmen.
Alan Deering. While we were in Costa Rica, we worked with the Rice and Beans ministry team. This is a listing of the things that we did while we were there. We touched over 1,200 people while we were there. Things kept moving in August with all the United Methodist churches in Calhoun County getting together for camp meeting. we're going to be studying a program called Catch and trying to learn how we can plan to have our churches to grow and develop. We're also taking up school supplies for our local school. Then it's time for us to bless their book bags for another year and move on into October. In October, we have faith sharing starting. It's a program to teach us how to share faith. We also have the Jess event, a time of singing and picking and eating and fellowship. We were the only church that participated in the countywide disaster drill, and we're the designated place to evacuate people in time of disaster. The youth group went to see the Newsboys in Tupelo. And the United Methodist Men hosted the FCA banquet for all of the local fellowships of Christian athletes in the area. We also did Fall Fest and Trunk or Treat. Our church provided most of the candy. There are many other things that happen at our church regularly also. The daycare we sponsor provides quality daycare for the children of our community at the lowest price in the area and have many different activities for them. We also sponsor the Boy and Cub Scout troops and packs in this area. The Rummage House has sales regularly to support our daycare and keep the prices as low as possible. We also have blood drives, and our lunch bunch, the older adults, travel many different places to plays and different events. We support the food bank, which has over 350 families in our county fed every single month. All the churches get together in Calhoun County Churches United, and we're an active part of that. And we're also an active part of the United Methodist Covenant group here, which meets once a quarter. We provide places for Al-Anon and AA to meet, for Rotary Club, for the Chamber of Commerce, and for many different community activities that happen. We're the choice for where to meet. And now this brings us to the beginning of a new year. During the last year, 7 have been added to our church by profession of faith. Cooper Cavanis, and Connor Cavanis, Anna Scott Lee, and Mary Lacey Lee. We call her Lacey. Levi Goza, Jaden Brooke Warren, and Chipper Drake Moore. We have also added one by transfer from another United Methodist church, and that's Bobby Steele, who is transferred back from West Point United Methodist Church. Now it's time to look at our goals for next year. One of our main goals is to get people involved in local missions. We are thinking about doing a nursing home program, trunk or treat, Meals on Wheels, community visitation, starting a group to do small home repairs for the elderly and shut-in, continue our food pantry work in Bruce, have events for the elderly and shut-ins, maybe at the Methodist corner or lunch bunch trips, continue Lenten luncheons, continue rummage house work, have daycare buddies who'd help out in daycare, have regular blood drives, and start a disaster preparedness committee that'll get us prepared for when a disaster comes. What we'll do will be dependent upon what people want to do. We'll give them an opportunity to sign up the first Sunday in January. We're going to get people involved in small groups by creating a brochure that tells about all of our small groups, and also asking the Sunday school classes to recruit a recruitment leader. We're going to also be emphasizing stewardship this year by teaching Good Sense Freed Up Financial Living course to teach people how to manage their finances. We're also going to start emphasizing stewardship more in our regular services, and we're going to start checking attendance to see who's here and not here, and to contact those who are not here to find out why they're not here. We're going to be working to improve our worship experience by training greeters and acolytes to do their job. And we're going to do some other things too. We're going to use social media to better promote our programs, and we're going to try and hire a youth and children worker to do that job. As you can see, it's going to be a very busy job with much for many different people to do if they'd like to get involved.